Welcome to Myk my NFL show. Well, what a crazy NFL season it has been. Oh, with COVID-19, many stadiums had no fans at all. Some stadiums had 5,000 or more fans, but they've got through, and tomorrow it is week 17. Well, my favourite story this season has to be when Kendall Hinton was called up from the Broncos practice roster, and he was advised at 4 o'clock on Saturday that he will be starting quarterback the next day for the Broncos against the Saints in that mean, nasty defense. The 25 hours that he went through was fantastic, so I really suggest listening to Peter King's podcast where he interviews Kendall Hinton. Fantastic. Well, several teams lost players, quite a few for certain games, the Browns, the Ravens, and now tomorrow in week 17, Kamara, the great Saints running back, he's not only lost some money for wearing colourful cleats at Christmas time, but he and also the other running backs for the Saints are out because of COVID-19 and contact tracing. Now let's go to earlier today where I'm out and about at two of my favourite sites in Edmonton where I've done quite a few Myk shows this year, and I talk all the games in week 17. I give my picks, and I also talk a little bit about each team, the pluses and the minuses of where they are and where they might be next year for all the teams in the NFL. Enjoy. Welcome to Myk here at the Alberta Aviation Museum in Edmonton, and one of my favourite spots to do my Myk shows all year. Look at the beautiful plane in the background, fantastic. But we're here to talk NFL Week 17 and a bit of a recap of the whole NFL season, team by team. First of all, we have the Miami Dolphins, the Mammals. Yes, they are not fish, as some people call them, the Miami Fish. Dolphins are mammals. They are not fish. So let's get that straight away. Well, they are in Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills, who have been absolutely fantastic this season. The Bills are favourite by 2 points. There is rumours they will rest maybe some of their players. Will they rest Josh Allen for the whole game or just part of the game? The star quarterback who Florio and Sims are now considering to be in the MVP conversation with Aaron Rodgers, who I think should win it, and Patrick Mahomes. I am going to go for the Bills, even though they may rest some players. And the Dolphins, the Mammals, they need to win to get in the playoffs. Will they play a Tua Tua, or will Ryan Fitzmagic play? Interesting game. Bills to win, because I don't think those Mammals, the Dolphin Mammals, will like the cold weather in Buffalo. Great season for the Bills. Good improvement season for the Dolphins. They're coming good. Good quarterback. Fitzmagic is a beauty in the A. Oh, I got months or years to go with this beard before I get a beard like Fitzpatrick. But no, I'm not growing it long. The reason I've got the beard is because I had to shave off my goatee when I was Mr. Donald Trumpy here for Halloween. So, got to wear a mask anyway, so I just thought I'd grow a beard. Anyway, Bills to win and a big chance to do very well in the playoffs. Maybe to challenge the Chiefs in the AFC. Welcome to Myk part 2 of my NFL Week 17. I mucked up the other night. I called it round 17 because in AFL it's rounds, not weeks. But they have 16 games in the NFL and it's week 17. And the second game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, the Bengals, they had a big win last week, upsetting the Texans. Got to hand it to them. They've been playing pretty average since Joe Burrows was out at quarterback. The number 1 pick, I tell you what, he was fantastic. He shredded his knee. Let's hope he can get back next year, but it didn't look good for Joe Burrows, the number 1 pick, who was fantastic, as I said. Well, the Ravens, they do have something to play for. They win, and it can maintain or improve their spot in the standings for the AFC. I like the Ravens to win. They were 11.5-point favourite. They are now 13.5-point favourite. Lamar Jackson, the MVP from last year, he started to come good. He started a bit slow. Harbaugh, the coach, has got the Ravens looking good. Be careful, they could keep improving and be a force in the AFC playoffs. The next game, the dirty, rotten Pittsburgh Steelers at the stinky shit-em-a-pants Cleveland Browns. Well, Big Ben Rottenberger, he's injured, they reckon, or maybe he just hasn't been playing that well. Big Ben is not playing tomorrow. Browns have got COVID issues still, probably. Oh, it's a tough one. NFL Week 17 continued. Well, I just got interrupted. Frankie McDonald and Mike Camman and the boys were calling me on Messenger and upset me, so I ended that last video about 20 seconds short, but that's all right. Let's continue with the dirty, rotten Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Shit 'em a pants. The Browns were favoured by 7. Now they're favoured by 9.5, mainly because Big Ben Roethlisberger will be rested. Has he been injured, or has he just been playing terrible? Anyway, good on him last week beating the Colts, but that Colts loss cost me from going from 9th spot in the moneyline aggregate competition. I dropped to 15 just because the Colts lost. Anyway, the Browns win and they're in the playoffs. They have some COVID issues. How many players will the Steelers rest? Will Claypool, the champion wide receiver this year? Well, I shouldn't call him a champion after one season, but he's played well for the BC native. Claypool at wide receiver for the Steelers. I'm a fan of his, even though I'm not a fan of the dirty, rotten Steelers. But so many of my mates are Steelers fans. That annoys me. Anyway, I respect them. I just don't like them. And any of you weaklings out there that get upset because I don't like the dirty, rotten Pittsburgh Steelers, if you said you hated the Denver Broncos, I would love it. I would love it. So don't be snowflake weaklings when I don't like the Steelers. I'll make my final decision on the pick tomorrow morning, but at this stage I'm leaning towards the Cleveland Browns shit 'em a pants, and I have them at 6 out of 16 points in the moneyline aggregate competition. And the previous game, I have the Ravens at 16 points out of 16 and the Bills at 5 out of 16 points in the fantastic moneyline aggregate competition I'm in with 89 other great NFL fans. I've been in the top 10 all year, dropped to 15th because of the Colts losing. I want in back top 10. NFL Week 17. We have the Minnesota Vikings, who I used to like a lot, at the Detroit Lions. Oh, it's a nothing game. The Vikings have been very, very disappointing this year. Dalvin Cook at running back has been a star in the top 2 or 3 running backs in the NFL this season. He is out injured this week. Captain Kirk Cousins, well, he's up and down. They paid him that big money, the guaranteed 2-year contract. Maybe it was 3, I think it was 2. Oh, he's okay. Is he worth all that money? I'm not sure on that. The Vikings will unfortunately miss the playoffs. And then we got the Detroit Lions, who fired Matt Patricia, the coach, and the GM a few weeks ago. Patricia, who was under Bill Belichick at the Patriots for many years as the defensive coordinator. The bearded one, apparently he was too tough on some of these snowflake weakling players these days. I don't know if he was. Maybe he was just good and old school. But Gabe didn't like him, so maybe I'll believe what Gabe says about Patricia not being very good. Well, he didn't last at the Lions. Lions have been terrible. And the rumours started this week. Will Matt Stafford maybe be in his last season at the Detroit Lions? And maybe he might be at the Broncos. I believe that was Mike Florio suggested that. I'd take him. Big fan of Matt Stafford. Got injured a few times early in his career, but he's been wasted there at the Detroit Lions. Fantastic quarterback. Let's hope maybe he is at the Broncos. The Vikings, well, they were 6.5-point favourite. They're now 4.5-point favourite at Detroit. I have them for 10 out of 16 points in the moneyline aggregate competition. A nothing game. Let's hope they all try really, really hard and go out on a high, because I do kind of want to like both of these teams. Welcome to Myk Aussie.tv here at one of my equal favourite spots in Edmonton to do my videos. I often did them here during the AFL season, doing my AFL picks. The magnificent train bridge on Yellowhead near Anthony Henday in Edmonton. Well, NFL Week 17 continued. We have the New York Jets, the useless Jets at the New England Patriots. Oh, the Jets have won the last couple of games, and I'm glad they have, because all these people that talk about how they should tank to go after the Trevor Lawrence, the star quarterback from Clemson. Oh, they lost last night. Well, of course the players don't tank. The coaches don't tank. The management will tank. So all these people that say that drive me nuts when they get upset that a team tanks. The players don't tank. They're playing for their position. Big money in the NFL. They don't want to be on the streets. Anyway, the Patriots, well, they're favoured by 3 points. Oh, Cam Newton at quarterback. I try and like him. I do like him, but he's not the same as what he used to be. His body's taken a beating over the years, but I hope to see him back at the Patriots next year, and he might be a second year under Josh McDaniels' offense. Cam Newton, is he done at the end of the year, or will he be back at the Patriots or somewhere else? I'll take the Patriots to win. I got them at 9 out of 16 points in the moneyline aggregate competition. Oh, and then we have the Cowgirls, the Dallas Cowboys at New York Giants. Whoa, what a division this is. It's terrible with Washington and the Eagles, the NFC East. What a disgrace. A team with a major losing record will end up in the playoffs. If the Cowboys win and the Washington football team lose, the Cowboys will make the playoffs, and maybe the Giants as well. Well, the Cowboys are favoured by 1. Oh, tough call. Chris Sims like the Giants. I'm going to go the Cowboys. NFL Week 17 continued, and we have the Atlanta Falcon Birds at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, the Falcons have been very, very disappointing this year. After blowing the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, they have been very, very average. Matt Ryan at quarterback has had a bad year. Oh, they're just not the team they were a couple of years ago. Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of them to win. They are currently 6.5-point favourite. Take them to win and to win well. And I also like the Bucks. As I said on In-Game Live with Gabe and Cam on Friday night, I like the Bucks to challenge the Saints or the Packers for the NFC title. Tom Brady, he's still damn good at his age, eh? People were dissing him a bit. Well, he's had a bit of an argument with Arians, they reckon, as coach. I don't know, it could be overrated. He's got his buddy, Mr. Facebook Live, Antonio Brown, the smarty pants. He had him living with him. I'm not sure if he's still living in the mansion that Tom Brady lives in down there in Tampa Bay. AB's behaved himself. He's looking fit. He's looking good. He's got the Gronkowski is there with Tom. They got a good defense with a Dominican Sue. That magnificent train bridge in Edmonton. Look at it. The train going past. Oh, I love it. That's why I love this place. But again, I just got interrupted with Frankie and Mike, the can man, calling me. Anyway, I love those guys. I've got to record videos today. They call me on Messenger. Keep calling all the time. I just told them off. Anyway, so yes, I like the Bucks to beat the Falcons and win well. And as I said, challenge for the NFC Championship and maybe even win the Super Bowl. Maybe not, but they might get there. And the next game is the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Well, the Saints have been good this year. Drew Brees was out for a few weeks, but he's back. Oh, he had cracked ribs and a punctured lung. I had cracked ribs in Aussie rules footy once, eh? Taped him up, strapped him up, and went out and played for South Quarter in a final. I wasn't missing that final. Painful, but you can play with cracked ribs. I never had a punctured lung, though, luckily. Anyway, so for the Saints, Kamara's out. Kamara's not only fined for wearing fancy Christmas boots, he's out with COVID. And all the running backs are out. So at this stage, I still have the Saints to win. They've gone from 6.5 point favourite down to 5.5. I might change it in the morning, but I did lower the points. I now have 7 out of 16 points on the Saints. The Panthers have been good to me this year, often taking them on the plus and also taking them for the win at times. Teddy Bridgewater, oh, I'm a big fan of Teddy. He busted his knee up real bad when he was quarterback of the Vikings. It was very, very bad injury. He's a winner. He's a good player. McCaffrey's been out. Christian McCaffrey's been out most of the year, the running back. He's a star. I love his dad. Interviewed his dad in the Broncos rooms those many years ago, along with Bill Romanowski and Rod Smith. Check that out if you want. Anyway, take the, as I said, take the Saints to win, but be careful. Watch tomorrow morning for any more outs due to injury or COVID. NFL Week 17 continued and the train stopped. Maybe the train driver's wondering what the hell I'm doing down here. No, I'm keeping out of trouble here in Edmonton. Well, let's now go to a big game. The Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. The Packers were favoured by 5.5 and now they're favoured by 4. I like the Packers to win. I'll tell you why. Because the Packers, they really want that number 1 seed. And then they get next week off. And I'll tell you what else. Aaron Rodgers is dirty. He's been dirty all year, and I don't blame the star. Fancy drafting a quarterback in round 1. That was terrible. Jordan Love or whoever. Not his fault. I don't get the Green Bay hierarchy. They've given Rodgers maybe 1 good receiver each year for his whole career nearly. He's fantastic quarterback. Adams is a great receiver. Who else they got? I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed with the Green Bay bosses. Anyway, the Packers are looking good. Oh, last week I had the Titans to maybe beat them in Green Bay. Well, I would have changed my pick if I knew it was going to snow in Green Bay. They destroyed the Titans in the snow. Packers to win. Bears. If Bears win, they can make the playoffs. They still might make the playoffs if they lose, if the Cardinals and Rams, depending on that game as well. Bears have been average. They started the year well, then they went terrible. But, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the Chicago Bears. My mate Johnny Buckeye loves them, but let's take the Packers to win and probably cover. The next game, we have the Titans at the Texans. Big fan of the Titans. They're 7.5 point favourite. They should get it done against the Texans. I have them for 14 points currently out of 16. Texans have been very, very disappointing. Titans, you know what? They might make a run for it. They have a very good all-rounded team. Henry with the big log hanging out of his helmet. He's a star. Go for the Titans to win and maybe make a run in the AFC. NFL Week 17 continued. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. Or is it the Jaguars? Or is it the Jaguars? It's the Jaguars. Like the car. Jaguar? Jaguar? Not Jaguars. Wah, wah, wah. Sounds like a screaming baby. Or Jaguars. What's this Jaguars? It's like you freaking cut yourself on a barbed wire fence. It's Jaguars. Jags. Or just call them Jags. Not Jaguars. Jaguars. It's Jags. Jacksonville Jaguars. Anyway, enough of that. I'll take the Colts to win and win well. 15 out of 16 points. Oh, they screwed me up last week losing to the Steelers, as I said. But anyway, Phillip Rivers, he's okay. He's a bit annoying, but he's had a good career. Will he be there next year or not? that is undetermined right now. The Colts, they need to win, and if they win, they still might miss the playoffs, which is very, very sad when an NFC East team is going to make it with a terrible record. So the Colts could end up with 10 or 11 wins and still miss out. I like the Colts to win and win well over the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, the next game. Oh, it's the LA Chargers, the surfing people, the surfers from formerly San Diego, now in LA. Oh, I wish they stayed in San Diego. I can't believe they went to LA. I used to be a big fan of the Chargers, especially when my Aussie mate Darren Bennett was there, the star punter from Australia, the former AFL player from Melbourne Demons. Well, I'm not a fan of the LA Chargers. However, they are favourite against the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes will be rested, maybe other players. Chargers favoured by 3.5. I'll take them to win, and I've got about 8 or 9 points right now out of 16. But the Chargers have been very average. But their quarterback, Herbert, he is looking very, very good. Great selection by the Chargers, picking up Herbert. NFL Week 17 continued, and we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos, my favourite team forever. The Broncos, we've been disappointing this year. Let's talk first about the quarterback, Drew Lock, in his second year. He's been up and down. Let's not kid ourselves. Some weeks he plays very good and looks like he might be the future. Other weeks he plays pretty average and misses some open receivers. We have a good young core of receivers and tight ends, but we got to improve. And will John Elway keep Drew Lock next year as the starter, or will he bring in someone else? Maybe Matt Stafford, like I said before. I'd be happy with that. Drew Lock, come on, guy. You're a bit injury prone. You're screwed up with COVID, but I do like you, and I think John Elway probably will persist with Drew Lock. The Raiders, they've been disappointing. They've been up and down. Old Johnny Gruden, I like Gruden, but he needs to wear his mask properly. Has it half hanging off his nose and hanging down his head. Oh, the Raiders, take the Broncos to win. I've only got them at 1 point. They are 3-point underdog in Denver. Meaningless game. Hope the Broncos beat those Raiders. And then we have a very interesting game. It is the Arizona Cardinals at the LA Rams. Whoa, this is a tough one to pick. Both teams can make the playoffs. Cardinals with their star little running back quarterback, Kyler Murray. He is injured. Will he play? Maybe, maybe not. And maybe the Winnipeg Blue Bomber, Chris Streveler, might get the start. Well, the NFL people have been dissing the CFL a bit this week. I don't like that. At this stage, I'm going to take the Rams to win. They're 1.5 point favourite. I'll put 2 points on them, but I might change that pick in the morning, just before game time. NFL Week 17 continues, and the train has started. The driver's had his rest. Oh, look at this. The train, we need it in Canada. It's a huge money maker. The train's going from east to west, transporting all the goods to keep the economy going. I love this spot here in Edmonton. Well, the next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers, but they're probably still playing in Arizona because they're not allowed to play in San Fran area because of COVID-19. Well, I'll take the Seahawks. They were 5.5 point favourite, up to 7. They need to win, keep a good position in the NFC playoffs. The 49ers have been very disappointing after nearly winning the Super Bowl, losing by 10 in the end to the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo's out, their quarterback. They've had injuries all over the place. They missed the playoffs this year, the 49ers. The Seahawks are in, and Russell Wilson is back. He started the year fantastic, was an early MVP choice. Then he was disappointing. Maybe it's that hot singer he's got's been upsetting him. I believe he's married to Kiara. I saw her on TV the other night. I think that's her name. Wilson is a great player. And DJ Metcalf, the huge wide receiver, he is fantastic. One of the highlights of the year was when Metcalf chased down that player. He ran all the way down the field and caught the player just before the touchline. He is a star. Metcalf, even though his haircut looks like it's COVID-19. That was funny, eh? My girlfriend said that. Put some pictures up on Twitter of Metcalf's hair looking like the pink COVID-19, the disgraceful, disgusting COVID-19 out of China. What a year it's been. Take the Seahawks to win, and they might come good and challenge in the NFC for a Super Bowl berth. And the final game, it's the NFC East. What a disgraceful division this is. It is the Washington football team. Yes, the team with no name currently, formerly the Redskins. The Washingtons are at the Philadelphia Eagles, who have also been terrible this year. Injuries, especially at O-line. Carson Wentz, the quarterback, is nothing the player that he used to be. Let's hope he gets out of Eagles land and does resurrect his career, because I am a fan of Carson Wentz, but he has been very average. And Jalen Hurts, the quarterback from Alabama, who then went to Oklahoma, he is good. He's bigger than I thought he was. He didn't look that big at Alabama, but he is a big, good quarterback, running and throwing. I'm a fan of Jalen Hurts and what he's done in his several starts this year in the NFL for the Eagles. Now the Washington football team, well, they got rid of Dwayne Haskins. What an idiot, eh? He goes out and parties with strippers and gets caught. Well, of course, people are going to get their cell phones out, Dwayne, and you're going to get in the shit. Well, he started last week, played bad, and then he was cut. The former first rounder from Ohio State Buckeyes, Dwayne Haskins at quarterback. He is gone on the street right now. I'm sure he's got some nice money. Will he play next year at another team? Probably, but it is believed. Alex Smith, I'm a huge fan of Alex Smith at quarterback, formerly of the 49ers and the Chiefs. He's got a calf muscle. That's a dangerous injury, because I tell you what, if he plays tomorrow, he'll probably play okay. If he needs an injection in that calf muscle, sure, he'll get through the game. But if they win, he'll probably be screwed, and next week won't be able to run if they make the playoffs. Washington win, and they are in currently. I think I'll pick them, but I might change the pick in the morning. My best bet's coming. NFL Week 17. Now let's talk some plus minus, also called spread bets. So it's whether the team covers or doesn't cover the point spread. I'm not that keen on it. It's hard. I don't mind it. I give about 4 or 5 best bets in the plus minus each week. I have been in some yearly competitions on the plus minus spread. It's okay. It's just for betting purposes. It doesn't mean anything other than that. But here goes for this week. I'd like the Packers on the minus. I like them to cover against the Bears. I like the Titans to also cover against the Texans. I like the Bills at -2 against the Dolphin Mammals. I like the Bucks to cover. They're going well, and they should cover the 6.5 against those Falcon Birds. And let's take the Broncos at +3. Of course, I'm going to tip the Broncos to beat those Raiders. Now, also, something that amazes me with Gabe Rents and the other bettors, they talk about a teaser bet. I think, what's a teaser bet? The only thing I think about when teasing is, you tickle the little man in the rowboat, or as Canadians say, the little man in the canoe. You tickle it. There's the starter button. You tease it. You tease your girlfriends. Clitorious. So that's the only thing I refer to as a teaser. And I laugh every time when Gabe Rents and the other sports betting guys talk about a teaser. A teaser was actually a bet where you combine 2 or more teams and you can adjust the spreads over those 2 or 3 whatever teams, and then you get a lower payout. So Gabe often talks about a teaser bet. I laugh every time. And also, I've often talked on these shows about the Moneyline aggregate competition I'm in. It's fantastic. Hopefully I have a good week and end up in the top 10. And then you get to pick some teams on the run for the Super Bowl. Enjoy NFL Week 17.